Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw for Insider Travel Report, and today I'm here with David Chait, who's the founder and CEO of Travefy. And many of you know Travefy. Many of you use Travefy and all their products and services. And they recently introduced a new CRM suite, and that's kind of the hook we're looking at right now. And we're going to talk about Travefy, what it does, and what things you can take advantage of, and of course, this new CRM suite. And you'll find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. David, great to see you. It's fantastic. We've seen each other at a lot of conferences, and it's wonderful to see you. We could have done this live in about a week, but we decided just to get it done now.
No, this is great. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to chat. And yeah, why wait? It'll be nice. And we'll get to see each other twice in a week. So it'll be
That's
great.
right. Yeah, so back and we'll see each other at Virtuoso. But let's start off by telling us a little bit about Travefy. When did you start the company, and what kind of technology and services does it provide specifically to travel advisors?
Yeah, no, great question. So I started Travefy back in 2012 while I was in business school. And that's when really started building travel technology, and really started to learn more about the broader travel landscape and industries, ultimately supporting and moving into the space that we are now, where we 100% are laser focused on supporting the travel advisor community. And we moved into that really around 2016. And that's exactly what Travefy is we are subscription software that helps travel advisors and agencies grow their business. And we do that through tools and technologies that help them efficiently run and operate. What we're most known for is our award-winning itineraries and proposals that
Mhm.
help them build those beautiful proposals, sell more, drive decisions, and ultimately deliver those beautiful itineraries in web, mobile, and PDF.
Mhm.
But over time, based off of the places we can add incredible value to these advisors and agencies, we've grown to include everything from marketing tools like our website builder to our now full CRM that includes integrated email and communications, invoicing, commission tracking, and more, as well as the ability to automate everything across the platform to work smarter, not harder.
Well, you've answered two of my questions right away, that you are
Okay.
focused laser on travel agencies and travel advisors. Those are your main customers. What did you start off? Did you have other customers when you first began?
Yeah, well, so I started out, we were just building tools. And so, this is, those early days, you almost talk about it as less of being a company than builders and tinkerers and innovators.
Right.
And I think with a lot of things, many of us, we start when we're building or doing things, you're building kind of those tools for your own life. And so the first iteration of Travefy was a tool that would be used by me and my friends. And it was essentially group tools for building itineraries, collaborating on those decisions, tracking expenses. And so that was the first Travefy. And we put it out to the market to learn and listen. And what we found was a user segment that was a daily active user segment, which you wouldn't expect for consumery group tools. And they were travel advisors who had been
Right.
left behind with technology and needed better communication tools, needed better ways to deliver documents. And so they were taking this system not designed for that and essentially hacking it to solve a need. And frankly, when
Got
you
it.
see that type of thing, you learn there's a real need. I personally had also been very familiar with travel advisors themselves as a user. I had recently been married, and our honeymoon, we of course used an incredible advisor for my wife and I when we went to Thailand. And so the kind of combination of all of that recognized, hey, there's a real opportunity to add value and change outcomes and drive. In addition to that, I personally, a little bit sort of step back. Had spent a career beforehand early on, really supporting small business economy. I back before business school was part of the Obama administration, where I served as senior policy advisor to Karen Mills, who was cabinet secretary running the U.S. Small Business Administration. So small businesses are an area that's a passion to me, and as we know, especially with the rise of the host agency model and IC model, we are an industry of solopreneurs, and technology can change outcomes.
Absolutely.
Technology and efficiencies in there, and so it kind of that perfect storm of, again, a real need in an industry that we care about and are passionate about, and a mission that I think is one of the most worthwhile missions a business could have.
Absolutely. And I know there independent contractors are coming in constantly. There's an influx. Obviously, it's suddenly being a travel advisor is a hot profession.
Great. It's a
For
great
the first
career.
time, in my history, and I've been doing this for 35 years, where everybody said, "Oh, travel advisors aren't they going away?" And now you could say, "No, there's a demand for them." And
It's
unfortunately,
exploding.
yeah, it's booming. It's an industry that's booming.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's exciting. For all of us, and I know we all sit in different areas of the industry. It's so exciting to see the our industry and this incredible career path get its due in terms of its highlight, in terms of its growth, and it's really fun to be where we all are right now.
No, that's great. And you obviously have built some technologies that they really need. And you talked about itinerary builders, websites, form builders, things like that that they can really use. Now, then you just literally last month you introduced what you call sort of a new CRM suite. And you said it was to eliminate what you said was switching by advisors. What is different about this CRM platform and how can it help travel advisors?
Yeah, well, it can help them in so many ways. And so the first thing is we are so grateful for all of our users. Again, we power over 30,000 travel brands today. And one of the things that I love about our industry and I love about our user base is we get amazing feedback. We get amazing lessons and learning on where, again, are the bottlenecks and where can we add more value. And, I will say that we've always had adjacent to a lot of those trip management tools, what I would call light CRM functionality, the ability to again, have that important contact management. Again, our PCI compliant credit card authorizations, which are one of the most widely adopted in the industry, as well as, again, some great communication layers on there. But one of the things that we heard consistently was, hey, we use you for so many of these things. What
Mhm.
would be really helpful is if we could do a few of these other areas, and specifically, because not just from a feature stuffing standpoint, but because of that great things that we do in terms of trips and proposals, some of these CRM features, when you think about auto creating invoices off of pieces that are in a proposal, similarly with commission tracking, it is more valuable for us to have Travefy do this than any other
Right.
great technologies or tools there. And so we listened and we learned, and we ultimately, as always, want to help our users and help the industry grow. And so that was the genesis for building this incredible new CRM, which again is a very robust full suite of CRM tools, including everything from that integrated your emails for all communication templates, automations, to that invoicing, multi-currency payment plans, all the various things you need, to ultimately, again, that commission tracking. And so this came from the users, but a
Right.
real great way to, again, help them with, as we noted, some of those switchings between logins and tools and things. But more than that, we always ask, why Travefy? And there's lots of things that we get asked to build that we go, that wouldn't make sense for us to do. And it's why we
Right.
integrate with so many other tools in the ecosystem. But these were ones that made a lot of sense for us to develop and build to, again, add those efficiencies.
Well, you're coming at a time where, so I'm thinking back 10 years ago when there really were very few CRM tools. Everybody knows client base and maybe that pretty much that was it, and everybody used that, and it was sort of the standard. And then, I flash forward into the present day, and there are now a number of tools in the market, and yours is the latest and the newest one. So there are definitely some options out there.
Yeah.
And so you're coming into the market where there are multiple products in the space. Is that one of the reasons you decided to launch your own?
It's a mix of a lot of things. As I said, we're always responsive to both the feedback of our users, where we see the needs and where we think we can add the most value. And you're absolutely right that the need for CRM tools has fundamentally changed in the last, 5, 6 years.
Right.
And so recognize that. And I do think that that is part of the proliferation of a lot of tools.
Yeah.
But part of that is the reason why we have said, hey, we recognize that people are looking for great new technologies. And we know that that's an area that we can add inordinate value and efficiency to their businesses. And so that's really why we've built it. But the other thing, and this is a more philosophical thing, as I mentioned, with what we decide what to build versus not, but even within things, when you think about things that Venn diagram or overlap with some tool sets that we are big believers and understanders that businesses build their own unique tech stacks.
Right.
And so I'm, of course, a huge evangelist for Travefy, but I recognize that while you have a large set of users that use Travefy for 100% of our features, you also have many that might use it for a different percentage of features and things there. And so for us, while we may build tools that are ultimately end to end in many regards, we integrate across the ecosystem with complementary and frankly overlapping tools because we want to really allow for you to build your unique stack. We believe in the democratization of data. And so for us, we actually look at some of this proliferation as great opportunity sets for giving that choice and flow for, everyone in the industry.
Well, that's great. And so you really combine all these things in this CRM suite with invoicing, commission tracking, integrated email, contact management system, and it's all unified in this workspace. But you can also use this tool and use your other products with other tools, right?
Absolutely. And we help support that.
Yeah, so that's the kind of revolutionary thing. Now, so far, I mean, I assume you've done some beta testing with a lot of travel advisors and travel agencies on this. What has been the reaction of advisors and agencies that may have adopted this new platform, and at least initially, what do they like about it? What's the feedback?
I mean, the feedback has been amazing. It has been a wild journey. And obviously we were testing a lot, as you noted, we have our group of testers before we ever even pushed everything live. But even since live, it has been just an amazing, multi-side things of obviously just a lot of adoption among existing users, a real just avalanche of new users wanting to leverage these products. And, the overwhelming response has been positive. The overwhelming response has been, again, around a lot of the reasons why we chose these areas, that it's not just, a great commission tracking tool and it's not just the great invoicing tool, but we do things in a way that's about saving you time. And so what we hear about and what that secret sauce is, the connectivity. And that it's, hey, if I have something in an itinerary, I don't need to manually create a commission or manually create an invoice. Now I can, but I can magically have that data sync and create that and push that there. And so those are a lot of the areas that we really hear and see that wow factor is not just that this tool is good, but that it's not siloed, that it's really about, again, helping you with that ultimate flow. And again, that's a lot of the stuff that drives our decision-making process on what we build and why. It's about, again, where, because it's a part of Travefy, are we able to do this in a way that's more valuable than you using a standalone service?
Yeah, no, and in fact, as you've discovered, all of the different groups, whether it's a consortium, a host agency, an individual advisor, they're all looking for, kind of develop their own customized solutions to these different things. And so the more customizable your solution can be, I think the more successful it will be.
Yeah, no, and customizing is important because again, one of the things that's amazing, and it's why we have such a thriving industry, and why our industry itself isn't elbows out between advisors, is everyone has their own unique sauce. Every consortium has their own unique sauce, every host, every advisor. And so that means that their needs, their configurations are going to be different, but that's great.
Well, you say, see, I date from the old days where the GDSs were all ruling, and you had to use a CRM that was adaptable to one of theirs. And of course, the big one at the time was owned by Sabre, and
Yeah.
that was client based. Then client based went off other places. People started to develop other systems, but there wasn't a lot until recently in the last 5 years, as you said. And now everybody is off doing their own. But fortunately, these all seem to be complementary systems, much as yours is.
Yeah, and again, we look at all of these changes and innovations in our industry as great because what it does is it elevates it, and it all speaks to again that kind of snowballing effect, as you noted earlier on, which is the industry's booming right now. There are
Yeah.
so many new advisors. It's exciting to see, and I do think that all of these things go hand in hand.
Absolutely. Now, as for Travefy, you're everywhere these days. You've recently become a lot more visible in the market. Maybe it's just my impression, but you're sponsoring an award program at ASTA. You're recognized and being awarded yourself for your products and services. Is this part of your strategy to really kind of get out there and become a notable force in the market?
I think it's a multitude of things. Number one, absolutely, of course, for any business, visibility is great. And so for us, being places, doing things are an important thing to do. But a lot of these things are also about being an industry steward. And I think for a lot of that, it's really important for, everyone in the industry to realize and recognize the concept of rising tides. And the more we can all do to support the industry, the better off we can all be, the better opportunities that can be created, the better option sets and more. And so it's why, as an organization, Travefy really with our time and with our dollars does a lot to support. It's why I sit on the board of the Travel Institute, among other things. It's why, again, the award at ASTA, what that really is about is recognizing those younger, incredible advisors who are not only doing amazing things in their business, but are doing amazing things for the industry.
Right.
Because we're seeing that emergence of newer, younger advisors. And the more we can do to elevate those people and to really showcase what an incredible career being a travel advisor is, that's rising tides for everyone. And
Well,
so there's a lot of reasons to all of that stuff. But yeah, being out there is great. And also we love the industry. I don't think for anyone, you got to love what you do. And I love our industry. And so for myself and others on the team, being at conferences, being places, doing things, it's rocket fuel. We love it.
no, that's absolutely. And being someone who created something called Rising Stars back in the 90s for all the top young travel executives, including young travel advisors. And we ran that for 10 years in a magazine that's now defunct, Travel Agent Magazine. And we had 100 rising stars. And so I had done that whole thing a
Very
while
cool.
before a lot of
Yeah,
the
I mean,
people.
you're the
I
original.
was the original,
Yeah.
but it's getting old now. I can't even claim that it was back. It was so long ago, but I did back then. I was a rising star, and then after 35, I think it was 35 and under is what was our qualification, and I passed that long ago. So now it's going to be falling stars, right? Oh, hopefully not. Hopefully not. But it's great that you're doing that, that you're recognizing these rising travel advisors. There's so many innovators in the market today. Being a travel advisor is so different today, and there's so many different ways that you can go that it really is great that you're recognizing that. Now, is there anything else that you want to tell we go out to about 125,000 travel advisors, plus or minus, depending on the day. Anything else that you want to talk about Travefy and also what the future holds for your company?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that I'll say is again, as we've noted, and again, appreciate the time here is we've been doing a lot. We've been busy. We're always listening. We're always building. We're always learning. And whether that's continued enhancements on our trips management tools, our itineraries and proposals. Again, we recently added those great decision making tools to help close sales faster, and we see that in the data. To the new CRM, we're doing all that, but more than anything, we're consistently listening and building. So it might feel like a lot right now, but in so many ways, we're just getting started. And so even as we look to the second half of the year, we've got some big announcements coming up really as early as September. And so sit tight, more to come. And, thank you to everyone for your thoughts, your feedback, your support, and know that we're here to just help you grow.
Fantastic. Well, we'll look forward to those big announcements later in the fall in September, and certainly we'll be here to cover whatever you put out and take a look, and maybe we'll be back doing another interview with you soon about that. Now, where can travel advisors go to find out more about Travefy?
Yeah, no, great question. Just go to travefy.com. If you go there, all the information is there for you. Lots of great resources, the ability to, if you want to explore, just get started with a free trial, but also to reach out to a member of our team if you want to chat. So travefy.com.
Fantastic. Well, David, thank you for taking the time to speak with us. I was wanted to interview you for a while. I had some things happen to me that were sort of delayed that process, but we finally got it going. And it's great that we're doing this right before Virtuoso, and I will see you there. It will
Yeah, I'll
be
see you in Vegas.
I'll be my first conference back, and I'm looking forward to it. But again, let's have a coffee or a quick drink at Virtuoso, and by then maybe you'll have more stuff to tell me. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
Okay, I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.